He says, you know who homeboy is. So I said, and I want to give full clarity. And it's so funny because at this point, I keep telling you, TDE sat there like policemen recording our conversation because I did not recover it. No, it was not TDE. It's whoever Dave Free came with. They recorded the whole conversation. Anthony Saled, that conversation I don't think is recorded because we sat next to each other, right next to each other. We were just talking, right? And by the way, I still keep saying both conversations were respectful. But there was a man recording the conversation, which, you know, obviously now you got to have a increased sense of, because you never know, like these little rap niggas is trying to like, oh, we have the video, you'll swing on him or some shit like that. But, you know, maybe they just wanted to record for the conversation. Like them niggas had like a camera, bro, recording the conversation. So this is why I keep saying this conversation has been the subject of public discussion for so many times. If they're not agreeing with anything I'm saying, they should drop the video. I've offered, I've requested, I've begged, drop the video. But I have a sneaky suspicion why they won't drop the video. I don't think the video makes a bunch of gang members from LA confronting a blogger who's standing his ground. I'm not intimidated. I'm not intimidating them. Nobody's intimidated, but we're talking like men. And if you listen to the conversation, if I want him to drop the video, I don't think the video makes nobody looks good, especially gang members. Keep in mind, I keep telling y'all, in every encounter I go into, I'm probably going to be the winner publicly in public perception because I'm not a gang member. Nobody expects tough guy shit from me. And I don't say I would ever do tough guy shit to nobody. So the tough guys having a conversation with me and either dapping me up, taking a shot or whatever, they look crazy online. To me, they don't look crazy because we're men. But niggas care about perception. So I think that's the reason this video hasn't came out. Because I wanted the video out. That we could just stop speculating because now I'm going off memory. Bruv, like what I'm supposed to remember this conversation word for word and y'all are telling this guy and like now I actually believe that they probably told the back on fit guys who are now my sons, I believe they probably told him maybe a different version. Because Punch is coming with a different version as well. And Drake asked me something what SZA reached out to him about. So there's everybody playing telephone, and I really dislike it. Dave Free came to me to have a conversation, brought a man to record a conversation like a police officer. Like this is the only way I could describe it at this point. You came to me to have a conversation like a man. You have security. One guy who seemed like he's ready to crip and blood and do all that dumb shit. You had a bunch of security. I got a bunch of security. We're just sitting there talking like, man, nobody's doing nothing to each other. There's a guy over there looking like a police officer recording the whole thing. Nothing ends up happening, but we're hearing 15 different stories of the thing. Dave Free, please tell the guy to release the tape. Please. Like, just please, like, brother, just release the tape of the conversation at this point. Like, y'all are the gangsters. Yo, I've lost so much respect. And this is why when y'all say Ak is popping shit, it's because even the gangs, I've met certain niggas in hip hop that I know is real life killers. And every time y'all see me meet them niggas, it's very different. Ak got a different tone because they're killers. The rest of these niggas, every time I meet them and what I hear about them, I'm realizing that's not what they are. So that's why I keep popping it. I've been telling y'all, I met Casanova. I was on my best behavior. If y'all want to say he checked me, pressed me, whatever, he did. Cass is a gangster. My man doing time right now. Hopefully get out soon. But a lot of these other guys, they're not. So when I run into them, I'm just, oh, okay, you're just like me. Okay, great. And then, what the fuck? Just tell you the truth. So, I hate to keep recapping a conversation when Dave Free had a man recording on the side. Dave Free, please have your videographer or whatever this guy was, just drop the video, bro. Like, first of all, already, if you show up with a videographer to have have a conversation with a civilian, it is crazy to me. Like, it's crazy to me, brother. You're the gangster. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all. I ran into, and don't tell me, like, all these niggas is claiming some type of gang, my nigga. They're all claiming some type of gang, bro. Okay? I ran into y'all, and I don't have a secret phone recording. My cameraman was there. He don't know how it's going to go. He don't got his camera up because this is not content. We're having a man conversation. TDE, not TDE, Dave Freemans has his camera up like this. It wasn't even like, the nigga got like some other shit, like just recording it. I'm like, okay. Even my security had to be like, yo, you know that other nigga? Because when we went back in the suite, the cameraman went back around like almost like still video, like, I don't know if like my facial reaction or to see if like we spooked or some shit. I don't know. But my only point of saying that is that y'all done recorded the conversation. Could y'all please just, and y'all clearly are doing telephone saying, Axe said this or nah, his demeanor was that. Just drop the tape. That's all I'm asking y'all to do. Because at that point, I don't care how it looks. This is what these gangster niggas don't realize. I'm Akademiks. Nigga, as long as I don't die, I'm still gonna come back and pop it. It don't matter. Could be 30 out that jump me. I'm gonna be like, yeah, it took 30 of them bitch ass niggas to do it. There's no expectations of me. And you know why y'all will always lose? Because I've never seen y'all pull up on another nigga that's gangster. So when y'all pull up on me, and even the fact we even standing and talking, y'all look crazy already. Y'all lost. Y'all lost. So please, if y'all got this bullshit ass video, just drop it. So anyway, Punch, it looked like TDE's doing a bunch of gossiping off of what this conversation was, right? So he's saying, didn't you ain't tell the homie, Dave Free, that homeboy writes your captions saying he really means Drake. So I said, oh, I love this. Let's clarify and set the record straight. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if they're looking at the videotape of the conversation we had, or Dave Free is saying when he was talking to me, his interpretation of what I said is that Drake writes my captions. So, again, if that was his interpretation, it might be just a mistake on his part because, you know, he thought that. So I'm here to clarify, right? And if they have it on tape, I would love for them to put it out because if I actually misspoke and said something that even was close to that, I would apologize. I'd be like, no, that was wrong. And so I'm going to repeat one more time what actually happened, right? But I'll just read my tweet. I said, let's clarify and set the record straight. Drake never wrote a caption on my page. I have a team that does it. Now, let's be clear. We're talking about the team that runs my secondary pages. DJ Akademiks TV on Instagram is a secondary page. Everything on my page from my Twitter, this Twitter right here, is written by me. There's no team. It's just me. Everything on my main Instagram, no team. Just me, okay? Everything on my secondary pages, I have the logins to it, but I don't write those things. I've hired a bunch of fans that came from the chat nigga community, giving them jobs. And I don't like saying that because these my niggas, they bosses too, and they run really a lot of the internet. But that's what they do, right? Yes, they've been getting better at media. Like sometimes they've been incorrect. Do I understand that the brand of Akademiks stands over everything? Yes. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. The way I'm looking at media is that all of these guys have fan pages, stan pages, hater pages, whatever. So if you want to hear what Akademiks thinks, just stay on my main Twitter and my main Instagram. If you want the world of Akademiks where fans and other people are contributing, the Academy, you're going to go to my other pages. And yes, they are going to editorialize to some bit, right? So I said Drake never wrote a caption on my page or ever wrote a caption on the page that I got my team running either. I said, I have a team that does it. Yeah, they're all like me. Like, and by the way, I could say some of the names. Like Grand Wizard runs the majority of the team, right? So he's, he would report to me. That's my guy. If he has a team of his own, right? I said what I said last time, and this is where I got to explain it. So again, if they're not hearing it from a video, I got to explain it again. And if Dave Free's watching, hopefully you understand this explanation. What I told you then, and I'm telling you now, right? I said, Drake communicates with us. Not about posts, but he communicates with us. We might ask him about a song. Yo, bro, is this true? Is this happening? Other people are reporting it. That's how we get the drop on certain exclusive stuff. Drake only fuck with a few people. We're one of them. It's not just me he fucks with. Drake speaks with my team more than he probably speaks with me, because they're always running stuff that needs clarification or confirmation if it's true. They might hear, yo, Drake, is Iceman the real title of the album? It might be some shit like that. Who knows? Like, my team is going to ask him that. Like, I might ask him that too, but like, I'm not regularly hitting a nigga for info. They would. So he speaks with them a lot, and he knows that, yo, Drake and Grand, they're cool, okay? I told you, Drake got back Grand's page for us. You get what I'm saying? The point of what I was saying, and I'm kind of getting off my tweet here, but I said, and this is what maybe Dave Free misunderstood. I said, Drake knows what we be posting. I said, if Akademiks TV has posted anything about SZA that's unflattering, Drake must not give a fuck. Why? Me and Drake has had a conversation about how much he cared for the woman at the time, and I walked back some of the stuff I said about her. It was on stream because she was crying in the studio when he was trying to do an album. Since then, I did not talk about her on stream. Now, granted, I'm not talking about her, but if a page associated with me that he communicates with them, and yo, I'm the boss over here. If Drake reached out and said, yo, Ak, yo, bro, could y'all not like say nothing about SZA? Remember, I already was not saying nothing about SZA before the beef because of him. I would have hit Grand like, yo, Grand, listen, don't run no SZA content. Remember, I told Drake I was gonna chill out on her, so bro, y'all should chill. So what I told Dave Free, I don't know what type of relationship SZA and Drake got going on, even now, because SZA ran back to Drake and told her this idea of, yo, Drake, are you writing captions on the page to diss me? Because Drake hit me and said, Ak, did you tell him that? So it's a bunch of telephone. It's the weirdest shit ever. We have billionaires playing telephone. This is what I'm saying. Dave Free ran to the back, gossiped to SZA, or they had the video and they played a video that maybe that's what they got from it. That video prompted SZA to call Drake, which is so funny. Ain't SZA on tour with the nigga Drake that called Drake a pedophile? This is confusing to me. So you're telling me SZA hits up Drake? SZA hits up Drake recently to be like, yo, Drake, are you writing captions dissing me, bro? Huh? How does SZA find it out? Dave Free goes to the back and tells her? I went to the concert. These niggas is trying to look for me to have a conversation? Huh? Bro, I don't know. This rap shit weird. So, I done clarified this shit 5 times, but I'm telling y'all this Dave Free nigga has a video. Check out the video, bro. Check out the video. But I don't care about the video. Well, I mean, I do want you to drop a video because it's too much back and forth. But I'm clarifying for once and for all. If Drake hit us up right now, yo, when I heard, so when I went off on SZA, I heard the bounty hunter niggas put a bag on my head that was gonna kill me. That's what I heard, my nigga. I don't know. Bounty hunters must be some bloods, and I don't give 2 fucks, my nigga. Like, brother, I'm in Jersey, my nigga. I'm not like in Slauson or whatever the fuck y'all got going on the West Coast. I'm just not scared of y'all gang tactics and intimidation shit. I don't care. Okay? So this whole like, yo, the bloods, we about to kill you. gotta kill you, blood. I'm like, y'all about to kill me over SZA? Like, you're telling me that I'm gonna be deceased because of SZA? Whatever, brother. Okay, I guess so. I imagine the killer running in like, I'm shooting you because of SZA. Blah, blah, blah. All right, whatever, cool. So, nigga, I just ignored it. Like, I ignored it. I'm like, these fucking idiots. Like, bro, she's a grown woman. Like, come on, stop it, right? But then I told you the only reason why we stopped it was that I wanted Drake to finish his album For All the Dogs. I did it for a selfish purpose, honestly. I wanted my favorite rapper to do his album, and she told me he can't get 2 records cut, so I agreed. So again, for people who think that like Drake controls me, no, I'm telling you why. Before this battle, I stopped talking about SZA, right? Because I wanted the nigga to do his album because I wanted to hear the album, right? So that's what I was communicating to Dave Free, and I said, I've been on a truce level with SZA personally, because me, like when Savage put me on the phone with Meek, I'm like, I always looked at that as that's truce. Like, bruh, like we talk is truce until I see Meek diss me again online, and then I gotta go back in, right? It is what it is. But I'm looking at it as a truce. So I was looking at the SZA thing as truce, right? Now I get it. My alt page is making posts that might not be the most positive thing about SZA. What I was telling Dave Free, because remember, Dave Free is asking me, is Drake paying you? Like, how much is he paying you? And I'm like, brother, like, what do you mean he's paying me? At first I was like, wait, you think he paid me to show up here? And then he was like, no, how much he's paying you, period. And I was just like, he's not paying me nothing. And I explained that dynamic to him. I said, let me tell you how it works in media. I said, just that you also know, 6ix9ine never paid me. When you're the closest outlet to one of the most biggest or viral superstars, and you get all the exclusives and all of these things work in your favor because you're the closest outlet, you are going to get your weight in gold by doing your job, not by extorting them for money or charging them. You get what I'm saying? So put it like this. This is just reality of things. And I'm always very honest with it. The people who think, why would I need to, Drake's the biggest rapper in the world, right? Now, the amount of promo I've given Drake is probably about like $4 or $5 million, right? Here's the thing. I'm going to get that $4 or $5 million because the price goes up on everybody else. The same with 6ix9ine. Every label, I taxed the label for like $150,000 after the 6ix9ine shit. Why? They wanted me to get cool with their new rapper they were trying to pop off to create a new 6ix9ine. You can't create that. It's organic. Friendships are organic. But labels think money. So I don't ever need to charge Drake. I'm just going to up the price on everybody else. I do charge people. And I'm very honest about it. I do consultancies. I do fucking promo. Yes, that's a fact. But the idea that Drake pays me, I don't get paid by Drake. That relationship is worth its weight in gold because of when I hit him, we're going to get exclusive info that nobody else is going to get. And especially in a time like now, he's isolated where he's not going to talk to a complex, doesn't want to talk to GQ, Rolling Stones. We kind of got him to ourselves. Pause. That's worth it. Like, if you were the only media outlet that would talk to the president of the United States, you're infinitely up. That's what we are. I hate to have to explain media, but I sat there in Ford's Field explaining this to Dave Free. He's a businessman, I believe. I explained this to Dave Free. If Dave Free remembers, I explained this to him. I said, we get our value by having these associations. Young Boy's my friend. Young Boy don't really fuck with the most of these niggas. Me and him, matter of fact, I gotta hit him back. I think they hit me yesterday. Oh shit. Oh yeah. We're gonna go do some shit. The value of me and his relationship, or whatever you might think is the promo value, I don't have to ask Young Boy to give me a chain or something. It's worth the value by being that person. Same with Cardi. I've always treated media like that. I explained this to Dave Free while he was sitting there, puzzled why I supported Drake. I also told him we prefer Drake. Overall, the conversation turned into he was upset that Drake said, I think them kids might be Dave Freeze. He was upset about it. He admitted, he said, you know what? I was pacing. This is his own words. This is why I keep saying drop the video. He said he was in the back pacing. I guess because Anthony Saleh came out first with like like 2 dudes. And then he came out with like 4 dudes. And he said, I was pacing in the back because I was thinking about how to handle this. And he's like, I realized my issue is with Drake, not you. Okay. And essentially what he said, if I was going to crash out, I'd be doing it, but not on the person. He was basically saying he want to see Drake, my nigga. So he's saying, how much is he paying you? I was like, what do you think? He paid me to come here? No, how much is he paying you? Like, it was saying, it's like, what are you getting out of this? And I was explaining to him, this is media, brother. Like, y'all started a rap beef, but you're very confused why a popular media outlet would either have a favorite or want to be in the midst of it. Like, it was confusing. But he was upset. So anyway, back to the tweet. So I said, Drake was the one who personally called me and asked me to cool it. Walt quit back. She was crying for 2 days in the studio while he was trying to get her to cut Slimy on a Rich Baby Daddy. I told Dave Free the exact same thing. And I said, if Drake hasn't hit us about it, right? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Like, the team that kind of work, they don't really care about what TDE feels. Just like how I don't think TDE cares about what Drake feels. My whole thing too, and I told this to Anthony Saleh, because he's the one who, when sitting next to me, he says, Ak. And by the way, you know, some of these things I was going to keep off the record, but I'm going to put it on the record. This is not recorded. I know this call, not call, but this conversation is not recorded. But we're playing telephone now, and we're grown fucking men. And everybody could get on the phone, but nobody wants to get on the phone. So if we're going to play telephone in the media, I'll tell everything. Anthony Saleh said, because he says, you're posting, he said, you're posting a man's wife, you're talking shit about his kids. And I said, brother, when have I talked about Kendrick fucking kids? And he said, y'all are making jokes about this, that, and third. And I said, all right, give me the examples. So now he comes into the street and said, give me the examples. And he said, bro, what I'm really trying to say is the Akademiks TV page. And I said, okay, what about it? He says, they're constantly taking shots at people who shouldn't be taking shots at. And I said, okay. And then we both agree on this one point. Non-public people in a rap beef should not be involved in shit being thrown both ways. Now, I said to him, now here's the thing. Kendrick and Drake is both culpable of this. Kendrick in a rap song says Dear Adonis. Drake in a rap song says Whitney. You do understand that fans or media outlets did not start this. And the energy that you guys have for this is created by y'all. So he tells me, I'm going to be honest. I'm a businessman. And we had a reasonable conversation. And again, Anthony got my number. He got my number. So, he could definitely, let me turn my phone. He could definitely text me and be like, Ak, that's not how our conversation went. Or he could even call in now and be like, all right, let's talk about it. So he said to me, he said, Ak, he says your Akademiks TV page. He says, I know it's ran by that Grand Wizard Chat nigga. He said, bro, I hired a private investigator. We know everything about him. We know where he lives. He tells me the guy government name. He tells me the location where he lives. He says, Ak, honestly, if he's like, because I don't know you to be talking about his chick or his kids or whatever, but if you could get that page to chill, it would prevent us from doing something. We don't want to have somebody. Now we'll get somebody to do something to that nigga. He's talking about Grand Wizard. Like I'm not gonna mention nothing personal about Grand, but that was the conversation. They told me Grand Wizard's full name. So that's what he said to me. Okay? Anthony acknowledged that they put a PI to figure out who ran the page, who they are, where they live, what they do. They said, if you could have them tone it down or chill, we don't want to have somebody do something to that motherfucker. I said, okay, I don't look at every post, but I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm going to talk to them and be like, yo, listen, I put myself out there and, I'm not backtracking or backpedaling from anything, especially if I say it. And also, just to be very clear, Punch, as you mentioned that, I never said nothing when Dave Free was there. I didn't backpedal from nothing I said about SZA because I explained to him exactly why I got back at SZA. Dave Free mentioned to me, you remember me, right? And I said, Dave, I do remember you. I said, I remember that you were the person who called my phone after SZA threw a fit after the Everyday Struggle episode. And then I was hearing that these gang members were trying to kill me the first time over SZA. And you were civil and you said, yo, this girl's sensitive, da-da-da. Yo, what do you feel about it? I'm like, bro, I was on stream. I didn't know who SZA was. I wasn't trying to even be funny. I said, could I talk to her? You told me SZA doesn't want to talk to you. I said, okay. He says, but bro, we would like for you to make it right though. Complex was pressing the fuck out of me. Apparently they had something with TDE going on, like a spread or something. He said, everybody from Complex called me. Dave Free said, so I said to Dave Free, if SZA don't want to talk to me, what are we talking about? He said, bro, just at least clarify it on the same platform you said on. I said, I bet. I went back on stream, I clarified. I said, yo, the night before I went on stream with SZA, the night before I interviewed SZA for the first time, I didn't know who she was. I was just asking questions. My chat was saying shit. I read it. I didn't know she would get offended by it, but that was not me being mean. That's a fact. Now, granted, the last time when I talked about SZA, I was being mean. The time when Drake called me, I was being mean. Because I felt like SZA was really taking it like I was on some, like I know how to insult somebody. But I do, like at times I'm saying stuff I really don't know. I'm not even trying to diss people. Anyway, I explained that to Dave Free. So Dave Free says, yeah, you remember that, right? And I said, yeah, cool. And then he's like, he starts out with this thing about the kid. And I'm telling Dave Free, I said, bro, yo, like y'all call a man a pedophile, bro. Like him saying that, like, why y'all not getting at him? So essentially it then becomes, well, why are y'all posting this? And I'm like, bro, here's the thing. The reality of it, we're a media outlet. I'll give it to you. We chose Drake's side. Yeah, we definitely chose Drake's side. That's a fact. It just is what it is. But we still try to be fair. But we definitely chose a side. Then he falls back off of that point because he acknowledges his problem about the stuff about the kid. He said, I was pacing in the back. I really, like, if I would have came out here and just crashed out, I'd be doing it when my problem is with Drake. And that told me everything I needed to know, right? So then he starts piggybacking on the Anthony Celeb point, which is, your pages, sometimes they're wildin'. And we had the same conversation I had with Anthony. I said, I do believe that non-public people should not be mentioned or should not be the center of conversation in a rap beef in the media. But I kept continuing to say, eventually you grown men have to start bridging the gap and either have a conversation or put it out there to de-escalate fans. It's not nobody else but fans. You have Kendrick fans who are doxing people. They've doxed me. They've doxed other people. Like, they've doxed women. They've doxed a lot of people. You have Drake fans. They've doxed a lot of y'all. This isn't a, well, could your page not say this mean thing about, no. This is an atmosphere that was created by y'all two rappers. And all y'all need to do is just say, listen, this battle is over. Listen, we need the fans to cool out with it, because what y'all are coming to me with is saying that y'all families are being affected by this. That's what Anthony Saleh was saying. Their families are getting bullied by fans. And I'm trying to tell them, what do you think Drake family is getting bullied by? No. And that was a point they couldn't really get to. With me and Anthony, we started going into the lawsuit shit. Actually, no, when he pulled up, he was talking about lawsuit. He said, why'd you put that liar on your stream? He was talking about the stream guy. What the guy called? The guy who said that they were botting. And he said his phone got taken or subpoenaed or whatever. Then we talked about the Drake shit. And then, after that, I was like, they got to eventually get cool. But then we got back to the lawsuit stuff, and he was telling me, this nigga Drake did blah, 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 blah. Then he told me about the clip shit. Not the clip stuff. It was, what did he say? Oh, Universal came to them to take down the fucking cover art. They told him no, and some other shit, whatever. But Dave Free was trying to, like, his initial point was trying to stand on this thing about the kids thing till he realized his problem is with everybody else who didn't say, I think those kids might be Dave Free. So, anyway. All right, I just went into a whole long thing because these TDE niggas just need to drop the video, bro. Okay, anyway. I probably don't even need to read my tweets anymore because I just told you everything that happened. Oh, so Punch says, so you didn't tell the homie that Drake personally handled the negative captions about SZA? No. To TDE, Punch, and whoever else, Drake don't own my page. Drake has never given us $1. By the way, I work with Republic people. I don't have one invoice that says it's coming from OVO or it's going to come from Drake's budget. Not one. Over all the years I've covered rap, Drake has never paid me. Drake has never sent me some crypto. I wish he would. Drake, I might have to clip this and send it to you, bro. Like, gang, I've seen you give mad people bread. Like, send me some money. Feel me? I fuck with you, right? It's all good. But no, he's never has, right? By the way, I've always said Drake don't pay for promo. I think that's why, like, when he was going through the battle, things looked a little bit different because he doesn't do the things to change the narrative. Like, I don't want to mention names, but every other big organization, like with all the big artists, I won't mention them because I work with them, they create narratives by damn near buying so much promo, whether it's like, oh, this guy's on a successful tour. This guy is like the biggest ever. Anytime you see a random post, like a random post, like this person just broke this record or whatever, that's their label, bro. That's their label. So again, notoriously, Drake is just allowed. I think he's a victim of his own success. When Drake is saying now his shit is suppressed, I don't think it's suppressed at all. Drake doesn't know what it's not like to not have the machine or when he has to do shit himself. Right now, Drake, if you wanted a number one, all you got to do, you should have spent $500,000 in that week. $500,000. Like, just have Universal isn't going to do, they're not suppressing you. They're not doing everything for you no more. They're giving you a little bit of that, but they ain't going to go that hard for you no more. They're not giving you the whole buffet. They're giving you a few entrees. But if you're smart, because they're going to gain more leverage over the span of the lawsuit, they're going to kill the perception of your career by not having you have a number one. If you're smart, bro, you're spending $500,000 on bitches and everything else. Just take $500,000 and invest it into some like actual promo for your records. Universal ain't gonna do it no more. You got to do it. They're not suppressing you. But again, that goes to my point of just telling y'all Drake don't pay for shit. Like, he one of them people who have been lucky enough that he's never had to pay for shit. Trust me. So the idea that Drake controls or owns anything, like when it comes to my media company, no. But Drake, I tell you, Drake gives us info, 100%. Like, bro, I'm mad honest. Like, what's that nigga name? Elliot Wilson was talking some bullshit. Drake hit me directly and say, "Ak, you could tell these people I ain't talked to Future, nigga. Just don't tell them I told you." Well, I'm telling you, I know he told me, but Drake told me. Like, Drake's gonna give us the info, right? But he's not gonna say post this like this. He's just gonna be like, and matter of fact, he don't even want shit cleared up on a post. Like, if he's gonna tell me something, I'm gonna say it on stream. He's not gonna tell me something for a fucking post. You think Drake is like over here like thinking about, yo, read some of these posts. That's just Grand's language. You know? And by the way, the only reason why, remember Elliot Wilson was like, he had that source. The only reason why, Drake told me, Drake was like, yo, just don't tell these niggas I told you this, because I don't want to be addressing that dusty bum. I'm like, oh my God. Drake is disrespectful. I ain't gonna cap. I shouldn't have said that, but cat's out of back. Oh, man. Okay, cool. So he said, you ain't tell the homie that you personally, whatever. I said, no. He said, oh, that is cool. Okay, so he quote tweets me after I sent another tweet. So, oh, that's cool. I don't have an issue with nothing homie said in the battle. You're supposed to say it. See, this is coping. This is a lie. TDE is TDE / Dave Free. They're still reeling from what Drake said. And I think Drake and his people are still reeling from what they said. This unbothered thing is just bullshit if you ask me. How do you confront me about you getting sued or your phone getting taken because of a lawsuit and not acknowledge that the lawsuit was created by the battle? How do you confront me about people making jokes about the kid ain't died and it might be yours when that was said in the battle? You're saying you're excusing in the battle, but that planted the seed in everybody's mind. Like, we have to have some sense here. So this idea that you had no issue with what was said in the battle, that's lies. So I wanted clarity on the personal insults away from the battle. The battle was personal insults, Punch. Yo, Punch, I'm telling you, I'm at the point, I know you're rich too, so you wouldn't care. But I would pay money to debate you. Like, I would love to sit across. I wouldn't do it with DJ Dickhead. I would do it with you. I would love to sit there and hear your logic, because sometimes you tweet and I could try to see some nuance in there. But here, I would love to hear your point of view in more than just a few tweets. Honestly, like, what are we talking about here, brother? Anyway, he says, but you saying you didn't tell anyone dude was writing or approving or handling the post about SZA. No, I said, if Drake wanted us to cool it, because he told me to cool it before, because I was his friend during the album time. And for me, if I think, like, truth be told, I think Akademiks TV and the team that runs that, I didn't even tell them to talk bad about SZA, because I wasn't saying nothing bad about SZA, because I spoke with Drake. Remember, I'm honoring every truce. But I think when the battle happened and SZA becomes more distant and then she's going on tour with him, Akademiks TV becomes a little bit more liberal in making these pot shots at SZA. The point I was telling Dave Free is that I'm cooling off of SZA out of a respect of a truce that Drake struck up. I will, if he said, yo, Ak, I know you not doing it, but get Grand to do, or he would just hit Grand himself. He would hit Grand and be like, yo, Grand, bro, stop writing posts like that, bro. Or, bro, chill out of her, bro. You know? So he's not approving it. Is that I've told Grand wrote a post one time about, who was it? It might have been about Joe Budden or something like that. And I was just like, bruv, this is my guy. Like, you know? I didn't say nothing to him. I can't remember who it was, but like, I don't know. I don't think he knew. I was cool with them, right? So this is what it is. All right, I'm tired of talking about this. Where's Aiden? Where's Aiden? Is Aiden even on? Okay. Oh, somebody just said it right. Are you sure you're not mixing up Drake handling acts on-stream comments ahead of this with this? It sounds like a game of telephone. It's definitely a game of telephone. Yo, a lot of times when I got the source, I'm not getting the source from the other guy. I'm getting the source from the guy, right? So y'all could assume the source unless, and by the way, if it's a source not from him, I'll clarify it's not from him. Oh, is he on? How Aiden gonna tell me get on stream today, and the nigga's not on stream even now? Okay, let me see this. See, like for example, it says Charlotte exposed SZA for lying about what? Lying about her age. See, I wouldn't even post this. So like DJ Akademiks TV posted it, but I wouldn't even post this. Bro, all these celebrities lie about their age.
In the computer, like
you might be 30, SZA. You make a lot of old
was that
references.
AOL?
Dial up AOL.
You never had AOL and AIM?
How old you might be over 30.
No, she was
You're
20,
crazy. I'm 26.
26.
Yeah. If I was literally, there's Twitter and from the computer, like
You might be 30, SZA. You make a lot of old
was that
references.
AOL?
Dial up
Right.
All right, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. Okay. But yeah, hopefully I cleared that up. That felt like a lot of chatting to kind of accomplish nothing. Because the reality of it is, let me see. The reality of it is TDE Punch ducked all the smoke with Nicki. And then as soon as I tried to give him some clarification, he stopped responding. So it's like, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Eventually, I hope Drake and Kendrick, if they care about their the other people that's around their orbit and what they do and what they got to deal with, I hope they try to dead their beef or at least put out a message to the fans like, yo, we're not beefing like that. This shit is not that serious. Because I'm telling you right now, yo, you know what's funny? You know all them times I was getting like pizzas sent to my shit and I get swatted? It's the fucking Kendrick fans. So like, do you hear me sitting here and crying like, oh my God, yo, it's because of the product? No, nigga. Like, it just is what it is. So like, this is why I'm saying like when Dave Free was doing all that extra shit, I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, bro, there's mad like unintended casualties that came out of this dumb shit that y'all did. But the good things that came out of it, everybody's eating from. My platform increased. I made a lot of money. Kendrick is on a sold out stadium tour. Drake is still the biggest artist in the world, and like, how do y'all want the end result, but y'all hate all the side effects? Anyway, I'll let this go for now. What else has been going on, Chad? I feel like I haven't been on here for a week. We should go. Let's go in Shade Room and figure out what's going on. I should go on Say Cheese, actually. Oh my God. Yo, the Clips. Did y'all listen to the Clips album? I didn't listen to it yet. They actually did 90K. I'm actually shocked. The Clips album sold 90K first week. I ain't gonna lie. They did a rollout filled with talking about beer men. Listen to this.
In a word or a sentence, Pharrell, innovator, revolutionary. Kendrick, top tier lyricist, craftsman. Jay-Z, GOAT, elite. Travis Scott. Who is it? I don't do that. In a word or a sentence, Pharrell.
Okay. All right then. All right. yo, when I get to like non-hip hop topics, I got to talk about that CEO who got exposed for sleeping with his HR person. That shit was hilarious. Okay, so a little bit more about Roc Nation and everything like that. We're beating a dead horse at this point. You know, I listen to other outlets talk about this stuff, and I mean, the message is clear. You know, I challenge other outlets to talk about some of the stuff that we're doing. I listened to the Joe Budden podcast. They spoke about it briefly, but they pretty much said in a roundabout way, like, yo, we fuck with Jay, and we fuck with Desiree and Roc Nation, and that's our homie. We ain't talking about that type of stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, again, that's one thing about independent media. Since we have our own brands that we've developed, we only owe it to ourselves and our fan base in terms of like integrity or whatever you want to call it. And at times you might be like, no, that's my friend. I don't want to cover that. I don't want to cover that. You get what I'm saying? So that is, you know, the Joe Budden podcast basically said they fuck with Jay, they fuck with Roc Nation, they fuck with Desiree. They don't want to talk about none of the fucked up shit they might be doing. And I think they deserve and reserve the right to feel that way. Anyway, Nessa, who works at Hot 97, she actually came out and she is piggybacking off what Nicki's saying about Roc Nation. She said Nicki is exposing the smear campaign and tactics that Jay-Z, Roc Nation, and Desiree did to her behind the scenes. It's very similar to what I was told they did to Colin Kaepernick when Jay purposely co-opted his protest by siding with the NFL to help their image after they blackballed Colin for his protest. I called him out years ago, and so many was scared to say it publicly, but they would tell me they would agree with me privately, shaking my head. Roc Nation apparently took $5 million a year over 5 years to bury the growing protests and specifically help them to move beyond the controversy around teams' unwillingness to sign Kaepernick. Desiree even said, we love that everybody wants to be on that stage, that we've completely changed the conversation to fighting for it versus boycotting. We've come a long way. She got her pardon by Trump, no coincidence. The NFL owners are his buddies and also donated millions to his campaign. I still don't watch the league or whoever is performing at whatever game they have playing. Again, you know, you can't topple the giant. You can't topple the giant. Real quick. Hold on. Recently, I want everybody to send your collective prayers for my man Top 5 after attending the Wireless Festival. He was attacked at an after party for Steph London, and it was brutal. It was very brutal. While standing outside, before he got into the venue, someone pulled up and cut him in his throat from here to about here. From his description, it was 17 inches in terms of his injury and his cut. He's currently in the hospital. He's, you know, he can't travel for a while. His parents flew in to take care of him, to be by his side. I eventually was able to talk to him. It was you know, a gut-wrenching conversation, to say the very least. His whole neck was bandaged up every few seconds because I guess, you know, I don't know how the cut works, but I guess there was fluid getting into either like his airwave or whatever, but he kept coughing like, like, you know, every single time. So let's send some prayers for him. There's been a lot of rumors about what happened. I'm going to refrain from even indulging in any of that. There were, conversations that possibly had to do something with some UK guys. We're just gonna say, the world may never know, okay? But what I will say is that he's lucky to have his life. While talking to him, he told me that he feels lucky to be alive. 100%. 100%. Okay? And, kind of feel like I want to call him. If I call him, is that fake? I hate to use people's actual tragedy. People that know. As content. Should I call him? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen top 5 like that, bro. I've never seen him like that, and that's why I don't know if I want to call him because, yeah, I could clearly tell like he felt his life flash before his eyes, man. I could clearly tell. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Everybody in the chat says, "Act, don't do it." Yeah. I'm not gonna call him. Not gonna call him. Oh yeah, and it is 5 o'clock there. My bad. Yeah. So, it's a 17-inch cut. When I called him, he was face down on a thing. He had called me. He called me via his mother's phone actually, because his phone and everything. I think he just fell to the ground. His homies had, and they had that. They had it back at the hotel, so like he didn't have anything. But his mom rushed there. I don't know his mother, but salute to his mother. Yeah. It's like a sobering thing when you hear somebody feel like they tell you like they've pretty much felt like they tasted death. They felt like he was going to die. So he's going to recover. His voice sounded okay. The nurse came in the room while we were talking, and the nurse was just saying, "Hey, listen, you can't be on the phone. Like, he was on blood thinners and a few other things, and they did surgery. So he's going to make a full recovery. Probably a nasty scar is going to exist under here, but he's going to make a full recovery. All right? Somebody said, what? He begged for it. Yeah. Somebody said 17 inches. Hey, yo. And he did confirm. He spoke with he said Chubbs called to check up on him. So Chubbs called to check up on him. He's good. Yeah. The video that people are showing, that's not real. And obviously the police are investigating. Actually, we could probably look at a news report. Yo, it's so ironic and funny not funny, but it's so ironic. You know who called me and told me about this? I get a call from Savage, and Savage says, yo, check up on your boy, man. Just make sure you're good, man. I'm hearing some shit happen to him. Just check up on him. And I'm like, what? So yeah, I heard somebody did something to him. Just check up on him. And then I'm thinking, nah, that's cap. And then I realized it was true. Okay. Wait, what the fuck? I just put in top 5. Let me go and keep 6 solid. They would have it. Yeah, he texted me 2 days. He said, yo, Ak, I love you, man. Thank you for always being there for me. I appreciate you, family. Always for life. I said, how you feeling? You good? He says, yeah, fam, I'm feeling better. I can't fly for, I won't say the amount of days, until the staples are off my neck. And I told him, bet, I just got back in the States. Just got off the plane. Just call me. He called me, but I forgot what I didn't answer. There was a news story about it, I think. Here we go.
Now that we've had it all confirmed,
If you was in your car yesterday, yeah, and you pulled up to the party where top 5 got stabbed, you're getting T-packed. Trust me. They said they want to know who stabbed top 5. They need to find out.
What else? T-Pack.
now that we've had it all confirmed,
If you was in your car yesterday, yeah, and you pulled up to the party where top 5 got stabbed, you're getting T-packed. Trust me. They said they want to know who stabbed top 5. They need to find out.
I thought there was a news article about it. Anyway. All right. Let me read some donations. Somebody said Drake finna spin behind it. Y'all think Drake should spin or slide? Slide for 5? Never know, man. Drake might put that shiesty on and go slide, right? You never know. Now, Drake rocks with top 5 heavy. Okay. Somebody says, Act, talk about Lil Baby. What about Lil Baby? What's going on with Baby? Somebody said, where there's smoke, there's fire. If Dave that pressed over Drake's statement, Kendricks getting a DNA test now. Oh, I don't know. Mr. Rabbit TV says, Neonte signed to Earl sweatshirt. Get me to 1K, chat. Somebody says, Act, the beef is old, let it go. The guy running the Twitter page constantly posting negative about TDE. Y'all literally instigating this. You think so? Somebody said it's a clear attempt by TDE and PG Lane to create a rift between you and Drake by saying you said that Drake wrote the captions. Yeah, like we're playing a nasty game of telephone. Shit, I talked to Drake about the tweets. I'll tell you what Drake said about the tweets. I told him exactly like he saw. Now it's just all public. You get what I'm saying? Literally says, yo, you're talking the truth. That's all that matters. All right. All right. Let me see what else has been going on in rap. Yo, rapper Cash Out actually just got found guilty on several charges of R-word, aggravated sodomy, sex trafficking, pimping, and RICO. This is crazy. So Cash Out caught like basically some Diddy charges, except like what he was doing was actually like pimping, supposedly. Like he was recruiting women, having them sell their bodies and other things against their will. And he got indicted for it. And today the verdict was read. Cash out verdict. And the verdict was read. And this is what happened. Here we go.
That breaking news here live at 5. Atlanta rapper Cash Out has just been found guilty of most charges against him.
He and 2 others on trial accused of luring women into prostitution.
Atlanta News First Yasmina Alston is live at the Fulton County Courthouse where that verdict was just read aloud. And this came down in the last 30 minutes, Yasmina.
That's right, and all 3 defendants were found guilty of violating the Georgia RICO Act, which is what prosecutors wanted to prove in this case, that the rapper Cash Out, his mom Linda Smith, and a 3rd co-defendant were operating a sex trafficking enterprise. The rapper, whose real name is John Michael Gibson, his mom Linda Smith, also known as Mama Cash Out, and Tyrone Taylor were all facing multiple charges, including trafficking of a person for sexual servitude, pimping, and rape. And of course, that RICO charge. The jury found the trio guilty on most of those charges they faced, but not guilty of some of them. In this weeks-long trial, prosecutors tried to prove the 3 of them were running a business and luring women into prostitution, and several of the alleged victims testified. Now, we do know the jury deliberated all day starting early this morning, and then they came back with a verdict about 30 minutes ago. And once that verdict was read, all 3 of the defendants were handcuffed and walked out of the courtroom. The judge also saying that there will be a sentencing hearing for all 3 on Monday morning. Live at the Fulton County Courthouse, Yasmina Alston, Atlanta News First.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's a moment where the verdict is actually read. I want to see if we can see it. Damn. How come no one has it?
And a rapper Cash
Relationship with
I picked up before. I had to go to the hotel and get them.
loved ones while living in a Midtown condo together. The woman testified charges in this indictment. A woman took the stand in the sex trafficking trial of Atlanta rapper Cash Out. She says she was in a relationship with the rapper, whose real name is John Michael Gibson, and is listed in an indictment along with Gibson and several others facing prostitution-related charges. On Monday, she testified Gibson secluded her from loved ones while living in a Midtown condo together. The woman testified the rapper had her drive around women who were allegedly doing sex work for him, as well as collect money from those women.
I had to go to a hotel, which was the same female I picked up before. I had to go to the hotel and get the money, and there was nothing. She just opened the door and passed me the.
So Drake and Kendrick Lamar, to me, I think, could I say it's the biggest rap, like, when I say rap beef, I don't mean like killing or any. I don't think anyone's gonna get killed, or I hope not. But Kendrick Lamar and Drake, the 2 biggest rappers, basically, of like the 2 different subsections of rap. If you get what I'm saying, like Drake's for the like mainstream, like he's the biggest mainstream rapper, like. Feel me? Like a close number 2 is like a Travis Scott, like mainstream. And like Kendrick Lamar is the mainstream version of like the woke, like the black excellence type rappers, which is nothing wrong with it. And then 2 heads collided. And you feel me? Kendrick did what he did. But Kendrick not being able to sell a stadium tour, I think that it will sell out, you feel me? But what Axe said is kind of true, you feel me? Some people, they just gotta wait for their checks to hit and then they'll buy the tickets. Like LA and around the area is definitely gonna sell out. I don't know if he's gonna do a show in Toronto. I'm not gonna lie. From what I heard, which is crazy, a lot of people in Toronto don't even like Drake, which is literally what I heard. And it sounds so absurd to hear that. Because when I think of LA, I think they all love Kendrick. Like Bloods and Crips and whoever else, they all love Kendrick. But hey, man. So I mean, Toronto's probably gonna sell out too. But you feel me? You might catch top 5 there. You don't know who else you might catch there. But it's your boy Big Egg News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.